Stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo. Thanks for joining us on another terrific Tuesday. Today's October 23rd, 2012. Let's get ready to rock as we look through the markets. So open up your charts, turn on those scanners, and fire up your trading accounts. Joining us on this morning's program is Haas. Hey, bud.
Hello, Stock Sumo. How you doing this morning, man?
Oh, I'm doing dandy. Ready to rock and roll.
How did your bowling go last night? What kind of scores were you pumping out yesterday?
Yeah, you know.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I did average. My buddy, though, I had this kid subbing on our team, bowled a 300 game. And it was only his second 300 game, and here's the funny part.
Damn.
He bowled his first 300 game with me when he subbed on my team before, and it was on the same pair of bowling lanes.
Wow.
So how cool is that? This kid, he only gets his second 300 game ever, and both times were with me subbing on my team on the same lanes. Awesome.
Nice, man. That's pretty ironic.
Yeah, I was rooting for him.
Go for it.
Anytime you can get a whole clean game, it's just awesome. It's just tough to do. It's like a hole in one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is that comparable to like a hole in one? But I feel like it happens more often than 300 games, but it probably doesn't. To be honest with you, it's I don't know. You guys celebrate a little bit or what?
Oh yeah, we just high five and congratulate him. Buy him a beer or whatever.
Gotcha. Nice.
I want it because I want one of those 300 rings.
Okay.
How cool would that be? You get your own ring, and it says 300 on it.
That'd be pretty sweet. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, I thought maybe there was some rule where if you bowl a 300 game, you got to buy everyone in the alley a drink or something.
No, it's not like getting a hole in one.
Nice, gotcha. All right, man. Why don't we talk about some stocks?
Yeah, heck of a call on Apple yesterday. I said that it had a nice pullback late last week and that it was due for a good bounce, and sure enough, thing just beasted yesterday. Went from like 610 to 636 after hours. Right now it's trading at 629 pre-market. I was talking to Siffy. I guess they got an announcement today that they're going to be making some type of new announcement about a product that they're going to be releasing. Not sure what that's going to be, but maybe it has to do with the mini iPad or something. I don't know.
Interesting. You said the options weren't moving quite as volatile as you expected them with that type of price move yesterday, though.
Yeah, we're in the beginning of the week, so the weekly calls were pretty pricey. Usually when we get towards the end of the week, they start to trade a little bit tighter and closer to where the stock is trading. But yesterday they were pretty pricey. I believe I was looking at the 640 calls, and they were like $20 or something. And in order for those 640 calls to be worth $20, Apple's got to be at 660. So pretty pricey. Not sure what they're going to do today. I'm sure they're going to open up down a bit because Apple is gapping down a little bit. So look for a pullback and then a possible bounce. Going to be interesting to see what they got up their sleeve today. Definitely want to keep it on watch, though, until we get those earnings on the 25th. So if we see a pop, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back and then maybe make another run after those earnings, if those earnings are as good as I think they're going to be.
Yeah, if they pump out some good earnings, this could get pretty nutty. There's going to be some people making some good bank on some of those longer-term options, probably the end of November.
Lot of red out there today. A lot of red out there. When we see the markets getting beat up, I like seeing the pennies start to heat up. I've been seeing that a little bit lately. You know, we'll see the big board stocks taking a hit and struggling, and you'll see the pennies start to heat up. People like to speculate, and if the big boards aren't doing their thing, a lot of people come over to the penny market. Maybe we'll see that today. Looking at my scanner, it's just filled with nothing but red. Some days we get a lot of green stocks standing out. Today, it's filled with a lot of red.
Hmm. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit yesterday. It'd be nice to see some dollar volume start coming in the penny markets other than marijuana stocks here.
Yeah, speaking of green, there's been a lot of green in those green medical marijuana plays. We should definitely talk about those.
Why don't we do that? Let's just see if you can roll over to my screen real quick. We'll take a look at some of the dollar volumes on some of the key stocks in the medical marijuana sector once again, because they are still hot. I know we've covered them in the show a couple times, but frankly, they're the greenest plays as of late, and they're still hopping 50% a day. We'll start off here with hemp. Hemp. I know it's only Tuesday. It's not hump day, but we're talking about hemp on Tuesday. Another beast of a day yesterday. Closed up at 9 cents from a 5.8 cent close the day before. Just looking at dollar volumes and DD here pretty much tells you the whole story. We've had about a 20, 40, or 50 factor for about 2 weeks straight here on hemp as the dollar volumes have gone from like $5,000 days to maybe a $10,000 day to $200,000 days, and then $600,000 traded on this sucker yesterday. Touched the high of 9 cents, which it closed at. So closing at the highest of day still. Where it'll stop, I honestly have no idea. It's definitely due for a pullback. It's had a lot of big green days. But, you know, I think some of the Washington hearings are still going on, if I'm not mistaken. If they've even started, they might start later this month, actually, in late October, early November. I have to double check that once again. But there's some other stuff just to approve the use of medical marijuana for various uses in different states. So that's why you're seeing all the hype in these medical marijuana stocks. Let's just check out a couple more here on DD Amanda real quick. MJNA, medical marijuana. We've done one interview with these guys. Really like the company fundamentally. I believe they're pulling a profit in the medical marijuana industry in the states that they're approved for use in. Also expanding overseas and whatnot. So this one's been a pretty solid company for a while. Also beasting as of late, couple $1 million days in a row here, as we can see on DD Amanda. This one was trading as low as like 2 cents when we first started talking about it on the show. It's still hitting new highs. Hit 9.3 cents yesterday, which is the highest it's traded in a long time. Closed at 8.9 cents, so closing pretty close to that high day on this one too. Trying to think of some other biggies. FOAT. I think Sumo mentioned that one first on the show here when we first started seeing it. I think that was a couple pennies ago, if I remember correctly. But This one's decent too, getting $50,000 days all the way up to $160,000 day. Yesterday, still closing green. What does it look like? Like 6 out of the last 7 days had a small red day there. Hit a high of 3.95 cents yesterday, closed at 3.95 cents yesterday. So also one closing near or at a high of day. I believe what these guys do is provide growing systems for various types of plants, including marijuana. MWhip. Touch on this one once more here. I think these guys provide some different types of card readers. People who are approved for use, don't have their doctor's orders for medical marijuana. They carry it on a little card, and I think you can go pick it up at the store using these guys as process systems or something like that. But this one's been pretty quiet as far as medical marijuana stocks go. Pumping up from a 0015 to, touching pretty close to 0035, 004 over the course of the last month. So it's getting some attention, but the dollar volumes are nearly what we see with MJNA or hemp.
You know which one started to pick up yesterday before you jump into rapid fire marketing is CLNP, Clean Path Resources Corp.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they had a nice jump yesterday on some good volume. was as low as 0045 yesterday, closed at 006, which was just shy of the high of day. The high of day was at 0062, but this is another one that just came to life at the beginning of August. It was 0001, 0002, and had a big move, and it's been holding at or above that 20-day moving average. And yesterday she started to pick up and broke its resistance levels. Be interesting to see what that one continues to do.
Yeah. We could have talked about that one a little more in depth after we finished up with that stuff. But yeah, I like that play. It's been mentioned on the boards for quite a while here. Probably some big news back around that 0001, 0002 area you were talking about. But this one's been a beast, hitting new highs again.
I thought it was medical marijuana related. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh, it might be actually. We can. Why don't we go check? I might be not in the know. You need to beat me over the head, man.
Yeah, that was the only reason why I brought it up. I thought that they might be in that sector. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you might be right here. I'm just pulling up a recent press release from August 23rd. Yeah, I don't know. They have some different natural herbal supplements for male enhancement, 7-hour energy, a detox one, and also a weight loss one. Let's see if they mention anything related to marijuana-derived like compounds that are in their products. I think I've actually seen that mentioned on the boards now that you...
You know what? Maybe they're a subsidiary of hemp, I think. I think that could be it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I saw it mentioned on the boards. I think you're right. It was, they might have some cross-marketing agreement with hemp where they're selling each other's products.
Either way, we go on the fly with these plays. We don't have time to do all the DD. We just like to bring them to you. So,
no, I'm glad you brought that up actually, because that's still something, you know.
Yep.
Increased awareness. All right, a couple more. RFMK. We talked about this one quite a bit. This one hasn't been doing as well as expected it to by this point. Getting a lot of dollar volumes, but this one was one of those ones that has a lot of toxic shares on the market yet. So we're seeing some selling here and there. Some of the bad market makers on the Ask, BNDM, BFIN, pretty big selling from those two over the last couple of days. So, got to be really careful with this one if you plan to trade this one. Supposedly, there's a 10K coming out, and if that happens, I expect the stock to perform pretty well. If it doesn't happen, classic pump and dump versus the MJNA and hemp, which already have some pretty key products on the market, selling them, pulling a profit, and still going green, which is really nice to see. Let's see, do we have any others? I think RIGH, this one put out a couple of press releases last week, if I remember correctly, but this one's just starting to heat up. But keep in mind, lots and lots of shares on the market for this one. 000 Lotto stock, 100%. Had a couple big factor days last week, 150. A couple of, 25, 72, $37,000 days. So people are starting to accumulate the 2s and 3s a little bit. But this one hung out at that 0001 area for a long time. I think they're having issues with the DTC. They weren't filing. And I think last week they kind of said, yeah, we're going to get current on over-the-counter markets. Yeah, we're going to start disclosing some things. So people are starting to get excited about that one. But remember, lots of shares, risky. Let's see here. Oops. Trying to think if there are any that I'm missing. I think GRNH might be another one. Green Grow Technologies. Another one that's been a little bit more quiet than the other ones that we've seen, but still up a little bit. Started to get some dollar volume up from about 0075 area to 2.5 cent close yesterday, which was the high. Looks like it touched 2.8 cents back on October 15th. So still closing near those highs, consolidating a little bit. We'll see if we can make that nice leg. That's the last one that I can remember. Can you remember any other penny stocks, Huber?
I believe we covered them all. I'm pulling up the scanner here, doing our scans like we like to do, and GPCM caught my eye on a big gap down. Not sure what's going on there. Do you see any negative news or anything around this play? It's grandparents.com Inc. GPCM.
I'm loving that name. Let's check it out here.
It's down 46% pre-market. For some reason, it had a print at 15 cents, but they're showing me a spread of 27 by 33. I don't understand that.
Wow. I wish I could say I knew about something, but hold on. Let me keep looking here. Doesn't look like they have news out there I can see.
Looking at that level 2, looks pretty thin on the ask side. Bid side doesn't look too well supported. There is 2 bidders at 20, one at 24.73 and one at 27.02. And then you got 2 asks in the 30-cent range, and then it goes to 50 cents and $1. So not sure what's up with this one, but it looks like the 25-cent range is a key level of support. The stock's bounced off that range quite a few times in the past, so not sure what's up with this one.
I'm not seeing anything anywhere. Not on Pink Sheets on the iHub. Thought maybe they'd give a website update or something, but I'm not even seeing that. Something's going on, though. Someone's in the know. Selling.
HLYS is the other one hitting my scanner. It's gapping up 27%, last at $2.35. Harry, Larry, Yankee, Sally, HLYS.
Yes. Looks like they put out a Healy's Inc. announces asset purchase agreement with the Evergreen Group and adoption of plan of liquidation and dissolution. Interesting. Here. Affiliate of Evergreen will acquire substantially all of the operating assets and assume substantially all of the operating liabilities of Healy's and its subsidiaries for $13.9 million in cash, subject to customary pre- and post-closing adjustments. Let's see here. And their marketable securities will not be included in the assets to be acquired in the transaction. So it's basically just basically a fire sale for Healy's. So they're going to get a big cash infusion.
Cool.
Not a buyout. Not a buyout. Interesting little chart there, though. All right. There's a couple I can talk about here that I think will potentially start to heat up in the near future. First one I'm going to talk about, SNVP. Mentioned this one a few times in the past, but they finally started pumping out some filings that give me a strong inkling into the fact that they're going to do a reverse merger very quickly here. And there's going to be press on that very quickly here. Call it a Haas hunch. Closed at 0019 yesterday, was up near the 003 mark, and people kind of sold off a corporate update that came out yesterday, which we're going to check out. But as you can see in October here, just back in September, they've been putting out some quarterly reports, getting their filings up to date. And there's some little tidbits in there hinting at some of the potential reverse mergers they're bringing in, changes of management and whatnot. But just the news from yesterday, I believe this is a management change. Savoy Energy Corporation announces the appointment of Henry Fong as Vice President, Business Development and Corporate Filings. Mr. Fong has a successful career in business development and brings a fresh spirit of creative thinking to Savoy. So you can go check out that press release. Teaser news, basically, just putting out, some news to say, yeah, we're making some changes in management personnel, and we're considering, a reverse merger here. While Savoy's main focus is on hydrocarbons, we're also exploring options in other industries that hope to in turn increase greater shareholder value. So definitely something coming in line. They're in talks with some different people to get some sort of operating company into Savoy. I believe the share structure is pretty nice. I think it's between like, I think 300 million outstanding share count and like 160 million float, if I remember correctly. So not too bad for a 002 stock about to do some sort of reverse merger or acquisition or whatnot. So that's one I want to talk about. And check it out on DD Amanda briefly. Just see that, yeah, the dollar volumes are massive, but it's getting pretty consistent days here, and it's started to creep up definitely with the recent news releases in October here. So might be an early stage one if you want to go check that one out and do some DD there. Let's check out King Resources. Might be back in play pretty soon. Kind of broke out of its little 0002 by 0003 trading range yesterday. That's kind of a semi-mini key break in these 000 lotto stocks. But what really caught my eye was something that came out Friday, October 19th, 2012. This used to be a Myanmar play. I don't know if it still is or not. They haven't talked about it in any of their newsletters recently, so they might be done with King. There were supposed to be all kinds of like mergers, and I don't know, they ended up doing one, but the stock didn't perform. Check this corporate restructuring press release that came out on Friday, which kind of catches my eye, kind of sets the stage for what the company's going to be doing. King Resources, a new preferred shareholder group, PSG, has acquired the majority stake position in King via preferred share purchase, so basically new owners of the company. PSG is a New Jersey-based mining and exploration group. PSG intends to appoint new management directors and board of directors shortly, intends to diversify the grid grabber from its holdings by a rescission agreement. So they're getting rid of grid grabber, which was one of their recent mergers. Basically, the shares that were involved will be returned to the company's treasury. 5, all existing management and directors will resign at the completion of the rescission. PSG and King intend to focus its attention on its core business model, which is obviously mining and exploration, especially considering the shareholder group that just purchased the majority preferred share stake in the company is involved in mining and exploration. Seems pretty fitting. PSG obtained control of King's majority stake position through an all-cash transaction. So I want to keep an eye on for more news related to some mining and exploration news, some different types of properties and stuff. So potential 000 lotto mining stock. That's had some pretty decent runs up in the mid 001s in the past. So it may very well just do it again. Let's see, do we got anything else? PTSH, one's been pretty hot. This one's up quite a bit already, but it's had 2 pretty big days in a row on some news that has been coming out over the last couple of days. Last Friday, 3, 4, excuse me, I need to sneeze again. Oh,
while you're sneezing, you can go on mute. I'll bring up the boom scanner.
On mute. You bring up Boomy.
We got TAG hitting the scanner, TAGG, TFER, TFER. I wanted to talk about this one in the beginning of the show yesterday. Didn't get a chance to talk about it until the end of the show. Sure enough, it had a big day yesterday. Drop hitting the scanner pre-market, DROP. P who? PZOO, PZOO hitting the scanner. Nickel and a half by 6 cents. Last trade 0633 pre-market up 7% on just under 100,000 shares. And you got grandparents.com GPCM. So that's what we got for the penny scanner. Like to talk about CBIS. We didn't get a chance to talk about that medical marijuana play. That's been a beast. It has its runs. We definitely want to keep that one on watch. Add it to the list of medical marijuana plays. CBIS, C-B-I-S. Cannabis Sciences.
How did we forget about CBIS?
I don't know, but the chart's setting up pretty nicely here. It doesn't make the big moves that some of these other medical marijuana plays have made, but it seems like it's been holding support nicely off the 50-day moving average, which is at 4 cents. If it can break the 100-day moving average at 5 cents, it has a chance at running. It's struggled to get above that since May was the last time it was above that 100 DMA. Past couple months though, end of September, beginning of October, it had a tough time getting above that. And again, end of October here, about a week ago, it had a tough time getting above that 100 DMA. So if we could break that, chances are it could run higher.
Yeah, CBIS, that one's had some of the bigger runs that we've seen in the medical marijuana sector in the past, up to that 15 to 20 cent area. So I could very easily see it doing that again at some point. Anyways, you got any others you want to talk about before the show starts? Sumo.
The show started at 9 o'clock. Where have you been?
I'm sorry. I am apparently catching a cold and sneezing and coughing and doing all this stuff. So I cough my brains out. So I can't think clearly before the market opens is what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
PWEI hitting the scanner. Man, that thing's been a crazy bouncer. Running hard again this week. Look out for the top, though. You've seen it fall last week. It was as high as 60 cents, fell to 13 cents, bounced back. Now we're at 50 cents again. So could start to get toppy again. Not sure what's going to go on there, but XTPT also hitting the scanner. X-Ray Tango, Papa Tango. And we're about 30 seconds away from going here. Macca Jordan in the chat room asking about SRGE and GURE. I don't really have anything to say about them. I know SRGE is on promotion, so just, beware of that. You got anything to say about GURE or SRGE?
Stuff. SRGE, like you mentioned, there's some groups on it. I think they recently just had like a buyout offer or some speculation that there's going to be a buyout of a mining penny stock. That's very likely not going to happen, so I wouldn't buy into that. As far as the fundamentals of the company go, yeah, in theory, they're bringing in some good revenues from their mining operations. In theory, they're going to ramp up those operations, and in theory, they're going to do all those great things and start a share buyback and do all that. But in reality, it's probably about a 95% chance that none of that's ever going to happen. So just be careful. Definitely providing some good trading opportunities, though. As far as GURE goes, I haven't really done any research on that up to this point, but can definitely do that at some point. Once my nose is cleared. MJNA up 3.9%, 121,000 shares traded, 9.2 cents by 9.5 cents spread. Hemp dipping back to 8 cents, it looks like. I love when market makers show one share at the ask. Or I guess it's 1,000 shares, but it's still pretty funny to look at. Let's see, what else should we be pulling up here? Oof. Tag 15.99 by 16 cents. Got to get that vert off the ask. See how much he's soaking here. 2.8 million shares traded already. Sumo mentioned that one. Obviously, huge promotion going on there, so keep that in mind. Same with PWEI. vig hopping up to 16.25 by 16.4 cents spread. I think Sumo died. It's TFER. What the heck's up with that, Sumo? Mentions it briefly on the show yesterday, and it just goes nuts yesterday, and it's still beasting today. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to sneeze again. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it's getting a little chilly up here in the Twin Cities. Played hockey pretty late last night, and apparently I should have been wearing a sweater or something. TFER, looking really, really good. Lots of bid support on 96.99 cents. Looks like they're going to push this over $1 today. 97 cents on the ask. PWEI 52 by 53 cents. Let's see here. Looks like hemp is going to try to bump that 9 cent mark once again. Be testing here shortly, it looks like. Oh. AMBS has been doing pretty well the last couple of days again. Check that one out. AMBS 0063 by 0066. Got some different tests and treatments in the pipeline for prostate cancer. Not a whole lot of volume so far this morning, but had a pretty good day yesterday. CLNP starting off the day pretty well again. Talked about this one before the show. Had a little mini breakout the last couple of days. 1.6 million shares traded, up 13.3%. Looks like it's going to roll into the 007s. It actually looks pretty thin, up to 009. TFER going to touch $1 here, it looks like. Some big hits. Already did touch $1.
Got this one hitting my scanner, HYSR. I haven't seen this one before. It's Hyper Solar. Harry, Yankee, Sally, Robert. HYSR. It's up 40% today. Last at 2.25 cents. Traded almost 800,000 shares.
looking into GURE from Mecca Jordan in the chat room. Actually, I like it. The only thing I don't like is it's a Chinese-based company, and sometimes with these Chinese-based companies, especially some that pop into some of these penny stocks through reverse merger process, they don't really trade at fair valuation prices. But I mean, it looks like these guys are doing really well as far as net income, and you know, they're pulling a nice profit based on a decent fair valuation measure. It should be trading at much higher prices. But like I said, with some of these Chinese reverse merger plays, it gets pretty difficult to put a valuation on it that someone's actually going to pay in the over-the-counter markets. I think GURE had a big day just a couple days ago, if I remember correctly. I thought I saw that one in the scanners. But checking out some of the AKs here.
HYSR just broke the high of day, I think, last at 023, and the volume shot up from 800,000 to 950,000. I haven't seen any promotions or anything on it. I'm not sure what's going on there. Do they have any news out on HYSR?
Let me check here. HYSR files patent for breakthrough technology to dramatically reduce the cost of fuel cells. So yeah, they do have news. You can check, see if they got any good tidbits in here. Fuel cells, hydrogen conversion. Just a patent filing, looks like. Also covers solar cells, organic solar cells, batteries, and anti-static devices. It's through the University of California. Cool. I like this kind of stuff. It makes renewable hydrogen using sunlight and any source of water, including seawater and wastewater. Unlike hydrocarbon fuels, hydrogen fuel usage produces pure water as the only byproduct. It's obviously a green company. Cool stuff.
Nice. I like renewable plays myself.
Your TFER is beasting. $1.02 by $1.03. Huge bids for it coming in.
Yeah, that would have been a nice play to get in at the, what was as low as like 70s yesterday morning?
I don't know. Is there a big promotion on it or no?
Yeah, I saw some really hype stuff out there on it, so.
Okay. Figured so.
Yeah, I was getting all kinds of alerts from this guy hyping this play for weeks, talking about he's got this next big thing coming, and then sure enough, this was it. But I saw the explosive volume on Friday, and that transitioned into a big Monday. Yeah, Monday, yesterday, you could have gotten in as low as 80 cents. So a nice 25% overnight. Can't hate profits like that. Last week, this thing was as low as 35 cents, though. So this was when the stock wasn't trading much, volume the past couple weeks. The beginning of October, it was trading under 100,000 shares. And then October 9th, it traded 295,000 shares. Kind of woke up, went from a low of 31 cents, closed at the high of 40 cents. And then the volume kind of backed off, tapered off a little bit, traded like 60,000, 30,000, 35,000 shares. And then, had that one 550,000 share day on October 16th where it hit a new high of 49 cents. So this is probably something that Dee Amanda would have definitely picked up on.
FEGR, Friendly Energy Exploration. Just starting to catch my eyes and move up a couple of scanners. Some volume coming in. Not a whole lot of a bid support. Might be early stages. One to put on your level 2 here. 0005 by 0007. Sixes got taken out early this morning. 8 million shares traded, up 20%.
Here's a little sub penny play running up the scanner. I like seeing these tickers that I've never seen before and seeing them for the first time because I've never heard anything. Doesn't mean it's a good thing, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. BLSP. Boy, Larry, Sally, Papa. Blue Sphere. 0045 by 0048. Almost 2 million in volume. Up 21%.
Seen this one. I forgot what they do though. Got some
Pull up a chart.
Put up an AK today. Let's check this out here. On October 19, 2012, Blue Sphere Corp signed 2 definitive project agreements to acquire 100% of Orbit Energy Inc.'s right, title, and interest in to and under 2 waste-to-energy projects in the U.S. So it looks like a waste-to-energy project they acquired there. Let's see here. It just had a couple of different sites. So waste-energy business for Biosphere. What's the chart look like?
Chart is pretty weird looking. It has a wide range of trading. Must have a pretty wide spread. It's thinly traded. Today's record volume from the chart I'm looking at, we're just going back as far as May, and you can see the stock likes to bounce around between 003 and 013. There's days that it trades as low as 0035 and as high as 012. So large swings there. Now that we're starting to see some increased volume, we're starting to see it tighten up and it's trading in a tighter channel. The key resistance is going to be at all these moving averages, which are all bunched together here right around 007. You got the 20, 50, and 100 all sitting right there. So we'll see if the volume can continue to increase. I like how the slow stow is setting up. It's pinching, getting ready for a possible convergence, and we could see a crossover there. That'll be a bullish indicator.
MDIN's been getting quite a bit of volume the last couple of days. Been some play at the ask through a couple of the toxic market makers, so keep that in mind. Some rumors floating around, some emails from the CEO about big news coming. Up 10.5% so far today. Still got VNDM on the ask though, which you gotta be careful of. 23 million shares traded. 0021 was the last trade. Little bit support on 002, got about 1.3, 1.4 million shares.
Interesting level 2 action going on for BLSP. Looks like it's trying to find support at 005, 0048, 0051, and 0055. Now they just took out the ask, and ATDF is controlling the offer. He's got 450,000 at 006. He was showing about 250 at 0055s, and they gobbled it up quick. You got about 230,000 shares on the bid right now. Up 3. Ooh, the bid just increased big time, and we got an uptick. Nice. The scanner never fails. BLSP is going to be today's runner, folks. Here she goes.
She's looking good.
Bam. This one's a nicey one. I could tell by looking at that chart It's got a wide range. Here's the key resistance here, this 007, what I pointed out on the chart. We break this 007, things could get very interesting. I see this going back to a penny possibly if we break these sevens. Looks like they're coming down. 50,000 left on the ask here. And Vert and E-Trade are on the bid at 6-1, and then you got Knight and UBS at 006. So the bids are starting to increase. They're starting to bring the bids up. They're keeping the spread somewhat tight. As long as we don't see like a 20 or 30% gap on the spread, then that tends to be a little too loose. As long as it's only about a 10 or 15 gap on the spread, then that's all right. 0075's up. 500,000. ATDF still controlling the ask. He's moving his ask back though. He's not holding those big blocks for long. Let's see once he gets a couple taps here at 7.5. Let's see if he moves back. You got Knight sitting at 008 for 300,000, and the bidders are starting to jump up to 7 and 7.2. Vert is staying high bid. That's always nice to see. Looks like he just got hit right there. Bids just got hit at 7. Might see a little pullback here. And we got our bikini chick running. Run, baby, run.
It was a sweet catch. Get some chatter in some of the bigger Skype rooms too.
Yeah, it was like 0045 when we pulled it up on the scanner with about 2 million in volume. We've seen the price go up about 50% and the volume increase about 100%. So great momentum here. Let's see if it can continue throughout the day. Definitely want to see it hold higher highs and higher lows to maintain that uptrend. HEMP making a pullback. You know, that's one of the things that we forgot to discuss about these medical marijuana plays. They're getting all hyped up, and there's a lot of price appreciation baked into these stocks going into these decisions for you know, some of the legislation that they got going on around these plays. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these things have a pullback. That's what I wanted to get to earlier. Regardless of the decisions that the legislation, whether they get approved or not approved for medical marijuana, I expect a pullback, and when we see that pullback, there should be some good opportunities to play some bounces along the way.
Definitely.
HYSR continuing to move up. There's one that's keeping a nice tight spread. 0251 by 0255. We saw it clack in new high a day at 0225 and 023, and she's continuing to move nicely. Nice increase in volume. We're up to over 1.5 million in volume so far. Good spot there. Looks like there's a little resistance at 026 on the level 2 of that HYSR. We got TFER click-clacking highs of days. 0108. Yeah. Looks like BLSP is trying to find a bounce spot here. Dipped it down. It's 0066 now by 007. Remember that 007 is that key resistance. Need to break and hold above that. 0068 up on the bid. Click clack, I was taking a bath. all upon a wash trade.
I'm not sure how I feel about what you just did.
I don't know. I was just making up a funny tune and making a joke. I thought I'd get a laugh out of you. I guess you didn't find that one as funny as I did.
I'm not in the mood, Sumo. Nah, it's good. I liked it. Got a BCAP getting a few taps. BCAP, we saw that major run recently. Pulled back a little bit. It's been hanging out. Put out some news today related to some share reduction in some of their other companies that they hold shares in.
HYSR 0262 by 027. Very nice action going on there. So we got a couple of nice plays here happening in the penny market today. Good to see things picking up. You know, like I said, when these big boards get under attack and you start seeing some red across some of the blue chip stocks, that often brings traders on over to the pennies.
Definitely. And that's when we get hot.
PWEI struggling to do much of anything today, trading a whole lot of sideways on light volume. This HYSR has been really strong.
She's getting smacked.
Nice volume.
Hemp's pulling way back. 6.6 by 7 cent spread.
You know where it's got a hold is that previous resistance of a nickel. Hemp had a previous high before this big run of a nickel earlier this year, and in order to hang tough, this thing's got to see support at that previous resistance. Otherwise, it could go back down even lower.
And there's a lot of red, even in the penny markets. Your TFER's still going strong. Touched a high 110 there for a little while. Huge bid support on the 107.
BLSP is shaking and baking right here. 0065 by 007. Like I said, that key resistance is that 007. If BLSP can break that 007 and hang above it, chances are we could see it run to its previous resistance of 01 or 013. You got the 200-day moving average at 0106, so if this thing really gets some momentum and can break that 01 or 013, that next resistance is going to come at 016. So we're hitting these 007s. Vert is back on the bid. I like seeing him on the bid. and you got ATDF on the offer, and E-Trade is up next. So this is just retail selling. You know, these are online firms. ATDF, I'm assuming that's a Ameritrade, right?
For ATDF?
Yeah, they're an online firm.
Yeah, I believe that's it's Alpha Trade, but I think that's might route through TD Ameritrade as well.
Yeah, so you got VFin and Vert sitting at 009. Those are notorious, you know, diluter sellers, not like ATDF, E-Trade, or Knight. You know, those sitting at 007s don't really scare me that much because it's just probably just retail flippers, just, you know, taking a quick profit.
Yeah, that one looks
Well,
pretty to 009, that's for sure.
well, we're getting close to the 10 o'clock mark. We caught some really nice winners this morning between HYSR and BLSP. Highlighted a lot of good stuff with the medical marijuana plays. I'm ready to wrap it up. How about you?
Sure. Sounds good to me. Then I can go sneeze in peace. Just don't have to listen.
TFER,
Trying to breathe over here.
go TFER, go. Breaking new high day here. Very nice. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow. STT Live. We're out.